Have you ever looked at your relationship or your spouse and quietly wondered, did I settle? Most
Mhm.
people think settling means picking the wrong person, but it usually means somebody has stopped growing. So today on Lights On, we are going to make the case for anybody who's quietly wondered that thought or answer like my wife just did. We're going to make the case that settling starts in the mirror, not your marriage. And we're going to make some sense of this word settling. Laura Lentz, it's good to have you on the pod.
Thank you.
It is your pod.
It is.
How are you feeling?
Feel good. It's finally fall here,
Yep.
and I'm real happy about it. Now I'm just deciding if I just skip fall altogether or go straight to
Straight to
Christmas.
Christmas.
It's
Let's
still
take a poll.
it's still in the wonders, but
Lights
I've got
on,
to.
fam. Who thinks Laura should just
Well, I always
skip Thanksgiving and just start to
No, 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 no,
decorate
no.
Christmas?
I still celebrate Thanksgiving, so that's what I've got to figure out because Christmas definitely goes up November 1st.
Do this on your pod.
Oh, okay,
This
sorry.
is Lights On. Here, we're about
You
learning.
asked me how I'm
we're about
just-
discussions. We're about life. Nobody cares.
I think a lot of people care.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Back to settling.
Yeah.
This is a question and a phrase that we've both felt, we've thought, we've talked to a lot of people that think this. Nobody
Mhm.
wants to say it out loud. Problem with things you don't say out loud is that they don't stay there. They seep through everything you do, so it's worth talking about. And when I hear this, when I hear a man say to me, you could tell me what it's like on the flip side. When I hear a man say, I think I settled in my marriage. I think I settled for this woman. Normally, what you're going to find is that there's been an area of contention, has not been regulated, has not been confronted, has not been resolved, and that's where the thought creeps in. And
Well,
as
do you
we,
think that?
well, hold on. I mean, your thought
Okay.
creates your feeling creates what you start doing. So now you've got a man who looks
Mhm.
across this woman and thinks, I settled for you. And now everything that comes out of him, all of his feelings, are feelings of regret, disgust, distaste, major contention. And then you start doing things that flow in line with that. So
Mm.
if people are kicking around this thought, it's worth checking on, is this even worthy
Mm.
of your mental real estate? What were you going to say?
I was going to say, do you think that's like an easy out for men to say that when they're like, okay, thinking about
It is a shield. Let me
options?
make it even clearer. It can be a real shield
right?
because if you say, wondering if you've settled is easier than owning your life,
Mm-hmm.
looking at what you're investing,
And
looking at
choosing.
who you're becoming,
Right.
and choosing to, continually build this relationship. But if you're like, man, I think I settled. Now I've got all this space to look at you, point at you, blame you. And that's kind of what happens when people use that kind of a term. Do women do that? Do you hear this a lot? Do women say, I think I settled? Or is this more like a man thing?
No, I mean, I think it's definitely a woman thing. I mean, right now,
Do you think you settled on me?
no, I think I had thoughts of it
When?
when everything was shitty.
Well, fair.
Like, did I do the wrong? Like, what
Did you
is
marry
this?
the wrong
Yeah,
guy?
did I
you
marry the
settle?
wrong person?
Really? I didn't even know that.
So I think it's definitely a thing, just like it is men.
Yeah.
I think women are created to nurture so much that they will make anything work.
Yeah.
Whereas men, they're like, they're
Yeah.
built different. So they're gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
You
no,
can
it's
speak
good.
to that more in terms of, did you think you settled?
No, and I'll get to why.
Mm.
No, but I don't even entertain that thought. I'm like a thought
No.
vigilante. So
Right.
I'm not going to spend time thinking about stuff I don't want the end result of anyway. A lot of
Mhm.
men don't make that decision. So
Right.
I think there's so much hope. And I love the Lights On family of people that listen. It's just really inspiring to hear your stories, to hear people talk. And we love marriage. We think it's amazing. It can be cultivated into something great. And this is one of those things where you might as well bring it out. One of the cool things we have is just the ability to even talk about that. And there's
Mhm.
couples who withhold stuff like that. So it's worth bringing it out and going like, what do I think about this? Ask that key question that you have because you live this, but it's interesting. So if you're listening today, I want you to just lean in and consider this question. If you've ever entertained this thought, have I settled? Did I settle for this person?
Yeah. Well, what if you didn't settle? What if you simply just stopped surprising each other?
Yeah.
which I mean that can be a little in your
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
But you know, the moment both of you are in the same sweats, you're eating, you know, cold leftovers, watching a TV show that you don't really like. You're just there. You didn't settle. You just stopped surprising each other.
Mm,
I think, you
mm,
know, we talked about this, was it yesterday? Where I was like, I think couples do this all the
for
time.
sure.
And it's not necessarily settling. I think we call it being comfortable.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. There's a beauty in that.
There's something great about feeling safe and comfortable with someone that you can just like stop caring.
Yes.
Maybe that's what it looks like. But it can get dangerous if you stay
Yes.
in that moment.
Yeah. I think you're speaking to me. What I hear you talking about is that beautiful tension of I'm totally myself around you and I'm comfortable. I'm safe. I'm settled in that regard. And that's beautiful.
Yes.
But in regards to what we're becoming and what we're building, have I settled in that?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where the problem lies. So I like going here with the frame. So, I mean, we heard from an awesome couple that listens to this pod on their dates. If you're with your partner and you're listening to this, immediately you have to start with the frame that is not about blame. Like it's about deciding, it's not about deciding if you married the right person. It's more about asking if you're being the right person. So our pod, we're never going to bring answers. If you want someone you love to listen to this, they can feel bad. We don't even believe in that type of life or leadership. Like our first stop is always going to be us. So if you want to handle the did I settle question, I like you asking yourself this question, not did I pick the right person? Did I stop being the right person? Because settling starts when curiosity stops. And that is so freaking true.
Yeah.
Settling starts the moment you stop getting curious. And I'm like this with our kids, obviously, but people, they don't do this in their marriage anymore. Like you're so curious about other things, but when it comes to that marriage, it's like, well, you know, I know everything there is to know about that person. And so my question for anybody flirting with this would be, when did you stop getting curious about your spouse? And when did you stop getting curious about you?
So some research that I love from Gottman
Gottman's the
Institute.
best. Yeah.
Relationships thrive when partners maintain a 5-to-1 positive to negative ratio. The longer you keep admiration and curiosity alive, the safer your bond becomes.
5 to 1.
So true.
For us, this is like, and I've told people to do this before. I'll tell you to do it again. Keep track of how many critical, negative, or even pressure-packed things you say to the person you love in light of how many kind, generous, curious, spontaneous questions you ask.
Well, I'm guilty of this.
Yeah, but I got so much time to make up for it because you've done so good, you know, in other chapters where...
Yeah, but you pick it up with me all the time, which has made me more aware that I can be on the complainy negative side. But when you say something, you don't have to finish the sentence or make it feel shamey. It's just like reminding me, hey, that maybe you can stop there with that complaint.
No, I mean, I think it's for my work was to go, how critical am I of my wife without even knowing? And you got to take a humble premise to even get there, because that even implies you might be doing something wrong. So for me, it's like I thought, let me just see how much this ratio thing matters, and I was not happy with what I found, so I have switched it, and it's so much more fun. It's so much better. But here's my thought with that. I don't see love in marriage like a preset template. You know, I see it like a fire. We've always said that. And if you want to do the fire metaphor, the wedding is like the bonfire. It's like this giant thing. Everybody's there. It's hot.
Right.
And from that day, as people walk away, as you walk away from the fanfare, over time, I think that bonfire can just become this little tiny campfire, and people act like the problem is fire. The problem is fuel, not the fire. And what if you fed it? What if you kept building? What if you kept throwing stuff in there? I think everything could look really different. So I think if your marriage is frustrating, we always say, what on earth have we been feeding it? Because there's a reason why your marriage looks like it does. So if you feel like you settled, my question is maybe you settled on your own growth. So let's talk about this. This is fun. You can talk about this myth
Yeah.
that it's very common, especially in Christian circles. Shout out to my non-Christian people that listen to this pod.
The myth of the perfect partner.
You hear this a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. But, well, because I think we grow up thinking that there's only one person for us.
The one.
The one. And that can be a dangerous way to think and go through life.
Agree.
Because there's no perfect partner. It's two imperfect people trying to grow at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot be a perfect partner. I like telling people that. Remember we used to tell guys who are always like dating girls and they'd never land on anything and they'd be like, yeah, but I'd be like, brother, have a quick look at yourself too there, brother. Like you might want to start, seeing glass half full here. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, how perfect should someone be? And what does that say about you? And I think once we get married, it's easy to look at what's not there. But if you cannot be a perfect partner or have one, what you can be is a growing partner. And we are both that. We're both growing.
Yeah.
So what it brings is new life. So we have new problems, new loves, new ideas, new responses. And the question quickly becomes, are you being the person you say you want in return? So I think I settled on you because you're not A, B, and C. Well, are you embodying the things you are apparently saying someone else does not have? And I like our new problems. I like our new fights. I like our new endeavors. That to me has brought us a lot of fresh life in our marriage. And I think anybody can pick up on that.
Helen Fisher found that long-term attraction depends on novelty and shared goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dopamine isn't gone. It just needs a new stimuli, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Esther Perel, who
we like.
I freaking love her. Desire needs distance as much as closeness. Security and adventure must both exist.
So you were speaking earlier to the comfort. And the comfort's beautiful. You need the danger. You need the risk. You need the adventure. That's what sometimes ends once you've achieved what you thought. So I'm going to pursue you until I marry you. It's probably a good idea to keep pursuing you after I've got that commitment from you. If you are both pursuing growth, this is great news for anybody. You're never going to feel like you're settling because growth keeps love in motion. I remember being on site with my therapist, Carlos, and we're talking about monogamy. I'm like, when it comes to having sex with the same person for 50 years, like, how does that work for you? And he was like, well, easy. I feel like I have sex with a different woman every year. It's my wife, but she grows so much. She's a new woman all the time.
Wow.
And I remember hearing that and going, if that's true, that makes sense. And it is true because every version of us shows up so much differently. And so maybe people can start to see before you discard the version you have, is there a better version in you?
Well, that's why I think therapy and talking out some of our stuff is so important.
Yeah.
Because you want to be continually growing and changing for yourself.
Yeah.
And then for your marriage.
Yeah.
Or just in life in general. Like if we stay the same forever, like how boring is that?
Unless you like it.
Sure.
So find the areas where you've settled that you don't like and ask yourself, why are you accepting that? So me and you, we have settled on some of our rhythms. We've settled on this. Well, if you find something that you're like, I don't want to settle on that. Obviously, we're going to do that whole pod about what sex can look like again. But even in the area of sexual intimacy, it's like, well, we're kind of settled. We have sex once a quarter. And it's like, you settled. You sound miserable. Why would you accept that? And I think those are the growth moments. But I'm going to say this, when it comes to settling in general, like you need to make a decision and settle initially, especially if you're in your marriage. You need to resettle, because the amount of people who never fully go all in on relationships, and if you're watching this and you're single and you're questioning, I don't know, I really like this person, but what if there's somebody better around the corner? Let me just take all the mystery out of there. Will be somebody better around the corner if you choose to look at it like that. Or you settle in the best way. It's called making a commitment and a decision. And then what comes around the corner, it's no longer your business anymore. Because if you wait for that, there's always something better. We were in this beautiful location this summer with a friend who has a really beautiful boat. It's the best boat we've ever seen. And we were laughing because it was, for at least 2 days, we're on this boat with them. We're chilling. We're like, man, it's the best boat. We turned a corner one day and there was a better boat. I'm talking about this was the best boat I've ever seen. It had trampolines. It had helicopters coming to and fro. It had different logos. It had different flags. And I sat there on my friend's boat. 20 minutes earlier, we were the coolest boat I'd seen. And then we turn one corner, and there's a better boat. Thankfully, we're all content, and we can look at that boat and go, that's just a cool boat that's not ours, rather than go, back to the grind.
Yeah.
Got to work harder to get that boat. That is life.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you have to make a decision with what you have and go, this is my best. This is beautiful. And then you see something else that's beautiful, and it's no longer in comparison to what you have. It's in concert. You're content with that. No, that's cool. Like, yeah, I did choose this particular person. We're married now. Oh, it turns out I met a woman the other day who loves the Chicago Bears. You know, my wife doesn't. Cool. Good for her. There's going to be some husband who's going to be able to enjoy the same football team but I'm not taking my eyes off here. That to me is the power of holding this with the right kind of presence and posture. Let's talk about what settling really is real quick, because I think settling, it doesn't mean you chose wrong. It means you just stopped choosing altogether. It's like blaming the treadmill for not changing your body, which people do all the time. Lights On is proud to partner with God Behind Bars, restoring, rebuilding, reclaiming lives. If there's ever an organization for you to check out that you want to support, get involved with, if you want to see people come to life again when society has said life is over, this organization is for you. GodBehindBars.com. Check them out. There are ways to get involved, ways to give, ways to support. Maybe you'll even find that this is a passion for you to bring life to people who are literally behind bars, and you can make a difference today. So God Behind Bars, check them out online. We love partnering with them, and they could use you. Never know. Check it out today.
How have I stopped showing up as the version of me I promised to be?
Now, right there, that's big. And I'll let you speak to the ladies. I won't get in trouble with that. But isn't it fair to say that often when we see marital contention, you can also look across the table. The guy has to wear most of it. And that's true. But he's not alone in that game.
Right.
And so what's the version you promised to be? Have you stopped growing?
I think a lot of women do this. It's like, and I don't know why, if it's just because you become a mum and you don't care anymore and you're just focused on the kids, which I think a lot of women do.
Yeah.
And they put their relationship, their marriage on the back burner because now we're raising kids.
Yeah.
And you're just going to have to wait because we've got these kids. And it comes out in, how we dress, how we don't look after ourselves, how we don't go to the gym, how we, all these things because we got to put the kids first.
Yeah.
I just think we've got to change that script of like, where do I belong? So for so long, even in our marriage, I was like, I didn't look after myself first. I still was fine, but I wasn't like,
you weren't a priority for yourself.
I was never a priority. Everyone else in the family, like you, the kids, priority. And I think that's where women get it really wrong is when we don't do our self-care, we don't look after ourselves, because how can you love yourself and then give that off to the people that you say you love?
How could you not love yourself? Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean.
Good.
So you have to be able to love this so you can project. Otherwise you project awful things. And I see, I'm not judging, but I'm like, why did you walk out in that?
Yeah.
Like you chose to wear that, like those sweats and that.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it's like, if you want to feel, and this is a psychological thing.
Absolutely.
If you want to feel good about yourself, you present yourself in a certain way. Yeah. That affects your inner person, your mind, how you go through the day, on how you present yourself. We see this with our teenagers when they go through their emotional ups and downs.
When they're
depressed, you can tell when they're depressed.
They look rough.
They dress like
they don't care.
Right.
So we know right away, like, hey, you don't normally leave the house looking like a bum.
In slippers and
Let's
socks.
talk, bro. What's going on? But yet we try to get away with this in adults.
Yeah.
Pretend we have happy marriages. And it's like, if and I'm not talking about the off fun moments. I'm not talking about an attire. I'm talking about a spirit of I don't care
every
anymore.
day. Yeah.
I think to me, I told a friend of mine, I'm talking about you, I was like, I won you to a degree. I married you, but I want to keep winning. I want to keep winning you every day. Otherwise, it's like, why would I? I mean, I already know you love me. Why put on, like the other day we went out for our date and I took off my shorts that I wear 90% of the time and I put on jeans out of honor.
Right.
Didn't matter. You didn't ask me to do that, but I'm like, no, we're going to dinner.
Sometimes I do say, "Are you going to wear that?"
Oh, yeah, you do.
You say that to me too, though.
True.
We have those days. It's fine.
But it's a cool back and forth because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we're going out. You're going out like a grandma tonight. Word. Let me go put on my flannel PJs. I thought we were having a date.
Hang on, I never wear flannel
True,
PJs or
true,
anything
true,
out like that.
True. And I got no beef against flannel PJs, but
It's just it's the principle of the thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's days as a mum where you're trying to just get out of bed.
yeah.
Okay,
Here's
get it.
one funny thing we can be honest about is like, I appreciate lingerie. I do,
Mhm.
and you do too. But the truth is, once you've been married it's the biggest waste of 10 seconds of anybody's
Bruh,
life.
who wants to be putting that on just to take it off?
I don't
You know
get
what I'm
it.
saying?
So maybe that's just a maturity thing. I get it
Maybe.
early on, like cool, be sexy, do all that. But
Right.
if we
There's
do get
other
time
ways.
alone, it's like, it looks so beautiful. Get it off. How much did you spend on that, by the way? $100. No wonder Victoria has a secret.
Yeah,
It's
right?
called just freaking fleecing everybody. But but the point is, we both are trying to stay attractive to each other.
Mhm. Well, in a
And-
man's makeup, how God has created us,
Yes.
men are made to gather and to hunt
True.
and to protect and do all
Preach.
those
Yeah.
things. Women are created
Yeah.
differently, nurturing all those things that we know is
But you can hunt
biblically
once
how-
in a while. I appreciate when you
Yes, you can hunt once
do.
in a while.
Hunt me down.
But that's,
Yeah.
so they need something to hunt.
You hit
Is
on-
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
You hit it on the head though. Like when it comes to, I like saying, have you stopped giving the energy you expect to receive? And what men don't know is that when they don't do work on themselves and they don't like themselves, they're overly critical of their spouse.
Mhm.
They don't see it until
Right.
someone shows them. It's like, man, the reason why you're so hard on her is because you are frustrated with yourself.
You're projecting your own.
So you're
inner-
expecting energy back from this wife. Why isn't she kind? Why isn't she cool? Like, why doesn't she encourage me? Like, I don't know what voice this is, but I'm rolling with it. Like, why isn't she like for me, bro?
It's like your California
I don't know,
youth.
man. Are you for you?
Yeah.
You don't look like you're for you.
Right.
You're mad at yourself, and you can't figure out why your wife looks like she's could be, a kidnapped victim. The way that she walks around you, that doesn't lead to good things. There's something
Yeah.
going on. So I like asking people, go here first before you start looking across did you settle on you? That's my
Right.
favorite question. And who knows where the end of that road could lead. But
Well,
if you
can I
start
say-
honestly, maybe the road ends quicker than you think.
Can I say, just from our own marriage journey, with you dealing with all your addiction stuff for so many years and how you saw yourself, the shame that you carried,
Mhm.
and the inner
Turmoil.
turmoil and the anger of just all of that.
Yeah.
There were moments when that would project onto me, and
Oh my gosh.
a
yes.
lot. And
Yeah.
so now in marriage 2.0,
Yeah.
the way that you have shown up to do that work of working on yourself. This is why it's important for marriages that are going through something that you do your own work and
Yeah.
you do your own therapy, is because if you don't look after yourself and
Yeah.
like get that guilt and shame and all of those things that you carried,
Missing out on so much.
you can't give that to your
No
wife
way.
until you get rid of that.
You can fake everybody else out,
100%.
but your wife knows.
Mhm.
That's why a lot of preachers get involved in this kind of
Mhm.
diabolical game. In that, like inside your house, if people saw the way you spoke to your spouse,
Correct.
in contrast to what you're speaking to other people, and I had to face that down because we're never awful to each other, but the way that I'm encouraging other people, the way I can speak life, but when I come home about business, like what's this, what's wrong with this, and I realized that was about me, it was never about you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a beautiful moment to get to. So if you're listening and you know this is something that's real for you and you're realizing this in real time, take an inventory today. But do you love yourself? Are you at peace with yourself? Are there things in you that are churning? Land those planes before you start wondering about the planes across the table. And it ends up being really, really, really special. There's beauty in that road.
This is what the research says. Studies on self-expansion theory
Yeah.
show couples who try new experiences together report higher satisfaction. Novelty equals vitality.
This is true.
That's so true.
We'll leave that for another day. But novelty equaling vitality. And this is why guys, when they cheat, they wonder if they can ever get that back. Because what they don't realize is what they're often attracted to is the novelty of newness. And they don't realize it's a trap that never ends.
Maybe you can answer this really quick because I got this question the other day. Someone was like asking, why do men cheat? Like, and I was like, that's a deeper question. But just in terms of this, what is it mentally where it's like, do you think it's that? Like they're looking for that dopamine hit or something fresh and new?
I don't think men ever cheat for one primary
when they
reason.
know it's wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, what is that?
There's always a multiple layer. I mean, the choice is, the low-hanging fruit is men cheat because they're sinful and they're stupid and they make bad choices. If you want to leave it there, cool. If you want to look into it, no man breaks his marriage vows for the same reasons. And I think it's the same dopamine. It's the same reason why me and Roman smash the buttons in between games, waiting for the screen to change. That's our dopamine. So if you get caught in the wrong side of chasing novelty, you're addicted to this feeling you're creating every time you're with a new person, a new woman, even if it's wrong, even if it's destroying you, you don't know what to do. And then you have to take a lot of time to rewire your brain to find that you can find better novelty in your marriage.
100%.
That's how God designed it. And you'll ever find. In fact, that novelty becomes so thin and so non-fulfilling that now you need 30 times. That's why when you find a guy who's cheating, he's always like, it was just one time. It's like, brother, if you're the one guy who cheated one time, you're a miracle. It's never that because you don't get there. It's little bit. It's like smashing the buttons more and more and more. So there's a way to put a pause on that. And if you're listening right now and you're like, how? You're going to have to do the work.
Yep.
But here's the thing. You're doing a lot of work now to live the life you're living. So there's a way to really switch that out.
If you don't know the Gottman theory, it's incredible. But they talk about the 4 horsemen in a marriage: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling.
Criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling.
And they say if you see any of that in your marriage, it's bound for disaster,
right,
and divorce, basically. Because
so,
once contempt and the stonewalling, defensiveness, criticism, once those move in and you don't address them and you just allow them, the chances of getting out of that is slim to none.
Right. So the opportunity is, before it gets there, look across your marriage and use those prisms and say, is there heavy criticism? Why? Dig in. Is there any contempt in me? That one you need to get out right away because contempt is terrible and it's annoying to be around contemptuous couples.
Oh,
You're wrecking our night too.
Yeah,
so not 100%. Only does your marriage suck, but we got to deal with your
bad
energy because you don't want to work in your own time. You're going to come to dinner and just be terrible. We got to deal. We can see that you hate each other.
Yeah.
Fix it. But I like looking, and then where am I defensive in my marriage? Why? All right, well, I'm defensive when she says this because this. Okay, why? Now you're cooking. What if you got free of that? And, stonewalling is just, I don't know how people live with that. Me and you are not wired like that. Other couples we see, that people can, I couldn't put up with that, bro.
Me neither. It just sounds exhausting. But
so here's a tool right away. Try a micro surprise.
A micro surprise. One unannounced act of curiosity daily.
Daily. A text, a note, a small plan, evidence that I continually choose you.
Yeah.
Every single day. And we can tell you from firsthand experience, this is not like hopeful theory. This is something that we have seen bring fresh life. And it won't be the big things that change your marriage. It'll be tiny little small things that you stack up and you're like, how did we get here? It's because he did the small things. So we do that a lot. I don't know if you're okay with me sharing this, but like one of the coolest micro surprises you ever did in your life was, I don't know when it was. It would have been a couple months back. I was traveling. It was like I just had hit a bunch of things. I was tired, and you picked me up from the airport, and you had a jacket on. And that's all.
Stop.
It was incredible. It was the best airport pickup of all time.
Well, you'd been gone for a few
I
days.
know, but the fact that you did it, knowing me, knowing what would surprise me, that surprised me, but it was awesome. It gave me fuel for like months of like, my wife really, she was thinking about me. And it's an amazing visual
There you
that I
go.
will sear into my mind.
Well,
'Cause
now
it's a
we're
good
either
one.
going to piss couples off.
How could
or,
anyone
or
get
they're
mad
gonna
at
be
you
like,
for doing that? Let me just say, let me just jump the gun here. Okay, we don't say controversial things on this pod. And it's so funny to see pushback. It shows you how the relational wisdom barometer in our culture is so bad that I think a couple weeks ago, what did I say? Your mom can't be number one.
Oh,
People
yeah,
push back on that. I'm like, really?
that
You're
was
pushing back on the
wild.
most basic fundamental tenet of marriage. We're too strong with it.
And it's biblical.
So-
Leave your father and mother.
So let me be real clear. Laura picked me up in the car with only a tiny little, it was like a fake fur crop.
No, it wasn't.
It
no,
was.
no.
It was. What was it then, Lois?
It was a bit bigger than that.
It was, okay, maybe it wasn't cropped, but it was to your waist. And we had tinted windows, and
You're ridiculous.
no, I didn't. It was awesome. So if someone pushes back on that, push yourself all the way out of this pod. Go find something that's going to suit you, because there's nothing wrong with that. That's the problem. It's a very small thing. Like, who would push back on such a thing if the goal is to bring life and vitality? Find what works for you, and don't judge other people.
Well,
for
that'll
what
probably
they do.
be a different pod on other
Perhaps,
things.
but I just want to give you
yeah.
a shout out for that little micro surprise
Wow.
you gave me.
I thought you were going to say one of the nice texts I did or something, but okay.
That's sweet too. Beep up. Hey, I like the text, I do, but boy did I like the attire. So I think I'm realizing as we're having this convo, it definitely comes down to how each person's feeling about themselves. It's kind of like when someone's recently divorced, suddenly they get back into shape. They care about what they wear. They're full of life.
But why do we
would that be?
wait?
Why would that be? Because they're on the lookout now.
Exactly.
They're trying to pursue somebody. You can do that in your marriage. It's a mentality shift of like, I'm going to pursue my wife again. I'm going to go get in shape because I want to, and my wife will probably appreciate it.
I think it's cool to be able to push yourself to get into uncomfortable places that you know you might be uncomfortable with, but you know your spouse would appreciate.
Yes.
So like doing something
that's
flirty
not your
like
wheelhouse.
that. It's not my favorite thing, but I was like, this is fun, and I know he's going to appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
So you do things like that, and it creates like a memory.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to try things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, get yourself together. Be a surprise all the time for your spouse. Why not?
And it's not about somebody else's standard. What is together for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people immediately go to judgmental things, and we're not saying you got to look a certain way. We're talking about a spirit. If together for you is a clean pair
It's
of
a
sweatpants
mentality.
and a shirt that's tucked in, and your spirit is alive, cool, we're good.
Yeah.
But when you stop showing up like you care, there's only one inference as the spouse.
Mm-hmm.
But they're done. I'm an acceptable cause now.
Mm-hmm.
They've got me, and now that feels terrible.
Yeah.
So I like it how you will do little things just because you don't have to. But I know there are some days you're like, oh, she really kind of like went full bore today and did 17 different things. Like that. I love you either way, but it's appreciated. I think that's a beautiful place to be. Let's just talk real quickly about redefining intimacy, because settling and intimacy are two warring parties, and most people confuse intimacy with chemistry.
Right.
Intimacy isn't perfection. We found intimacy is honesty. It is the safest place to be fully known and fully seen. So we were talking about this the other night on one of our little trips. We were just like, people think intimacy means sex.
Yep.
Intimacy to us means honesty. Sometimes, sex is involved in that frame, but it's so much more than that. Like, to be intimate with somebody means they know you and you know them, and you're vulnerable. That's as intimate as it gets.
And I think a lot of couples struggle to be vulnerable,
Yep.
especially men, but women as well. But being vulnerable to be honest about how your day's going, or how you're feeling. Like, you do that all the time with me, and it always makes us so much closer.
Brings us closer.
But intimacy is exactly that. Like, we see intimacy in the movies as people having sex. And it's
Or
like,
some romantic dinner.
yeah, and it's like, that's not actually what brings you closer.
I don't think you can settle for
I mean, it
somebody
does,
that
but
you're
you've gotta-
intimate with.
Yeah,
Because intimacy is active.
right.
So if you've settled, I know right away you've got an intimacy issue. It's impossible to settle with someone who you're like, here are my darkest fears. Here's my biggest idea. Here's what I'm excited about. Here's what I'm scared about. Like, how are you? Like, that's active growth. So if you feel like you have an intimacy problem, you probably have an honesty problem
What
before
would
you
you
have
say?
an intimacy one.
Yeah. What would you say to couples that are like, how do we get to that place?
Mm.
Again, because it can be awkward to just jump into dinner one time and be like, hey, so I'm just going to be real vulnerable with you. We did some practical things. Do you want to say
Go
what
ahead.
we did? Well, just things like asking those questions that we would ask each other, especially when we were first building the trust back.
It was.
How am I feeling emotionally?
Emotionally, spiritually, physically,
sexually. And there was one more. Was that it?
What do you need?
Yeah. And then finish with that. What do you need from me?
And that's all we ever had to do. How are you feeling physically? My body feels shaky. Cool. How are you feeling spiritually? I don't feel connected to God right now. Cool. How do you feel sexually? I'm okay. I'm getting more comfortable. Okay, cool. And it's an awesome moment because as that grows, it's like, how are you feeling sexually? This week, clear the slates, clear the schedule.
Yeah.
Because I am activated on every front and I need you to know that. And then the what do you need is fun because it took you months to be able to come up with something for that slot because you have so rarely leaned into. You used to never do it. Now you're getting so much better at it. But what you need, like if you ask your partner what they need and they hesitate to give you something, yes, awesome. It could mean you're crushing it. Often it means they don't even know what to say. Like,
which is very, again,
scary.
when you're a parent, especially, I think we naturally put our kids first. Yeah. And so, but taking that time away from that to really think about what you need has taken me years.
Yeah.
And some people are better at that than others. But for me, it was a really long time because I was very codependent as well and working through all of that. But it took me so long to be able to sit there whenever you ask. Even now, you'll ask me some weeks and I'm like, just give me 20 minutes. Let me let me think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just...
Lights on. Proud to partner with Plana.org, an organization built to help people deal with the unexpected, from moms trying to give birth by themselves to people handling issues where they don't know where else to turn. Plana.org is a one-stop shop for people who need help. They have an amazing app that's going to become available very soon, but even right now you can check them out at Plana.org. Get more information about this amazing organization that is fitting and filling a need that is so desperate. Have you ever wondered, where do you turn when X, Y, and Z happens? The unexpected. Plana.org is created to give people hope in the darkest hours. So check them out today. Plana.org. We love you. Put your kids dead last in your priority list in your marriage. Put your kids as far down the list as you can.
Yep.
And at top of the list is how you're doing and then how the person you're married to is doing. If you get around to the kids, the version of you that they get is so much better than the fake pseudo, we put our kids first, good luck with that. It won't work. It's not how God designed it to work.
Right.
So sometimes it can be a slow climb, and we find wives suck way more than husbands because they've used their kids as a shield against how bad their marriage is. So to ask them to remove that, they're like, I don't want to see what's there.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I only got 5 more years of pretending. So let me go to every game. Let me go to every activity. Let me be with every mom's group, because if I don't, like, what am I going to do? Have a date with this guy? I hate this dude.
Yeah.
And then you see it crumble the moment the kids leave. So everybody can avoid that by just choosing right now. Yes, your 2-year-old, your 6-year-old, your 8-year-old, they're all going to be fine coming in last if mom and dad are first. And then it works itself out. So I know that sounds harsh, but the way it works out is if we're both healthy, you give 10 times more to your kids.
You've got way more to give to your child.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's okay to be realistic with this as well. In fact, it can be helpful to be realistic. Like, you can't demand mystery from somebody that you share a location with. Like, I know where you are.
Right.
But there's a new kind of spin on it where you can still get really curious and inventive and fun. So here's our advice as we land this plane. When you feel like you're settling, it's not a sign to leave. It's a signal to look closer. Acting like you want to leave, that's the easiest out in the world because none of it's your problem. I've settled. They're not good enough. Probably not true. You're not good enough yet. Get good enough. Get healthy. Come alive. And then if you make that call, so be it. But at least you'll have taken the ammo off the table. Inspect, clarify, choose. So that's what Laura and I do with every single area that we want to see it improve. We'll put it on the table. Let's inspect it. Okay, you said you were going to do this and you haven't. Let me hear you out. Cool. Let's clarify. Do you take responsibility for this or do I? I do now. Okay, cool. Now we choose to stay on this together. And it makes for a much freer relationship and marriage. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So inspect what's real, what hurts. Clarify. What do you want to experience? And then choose. All right, what's one act we can do that's going to really cement this into who we are? It's everything. Let's close with this. Start small, start fun. So our 2 challenges, and I'll do the first one, you can do the second one. I like this, and I call it, so if you have heard this pod all the way through, you're not going to settle. You're going to start to look at yourself and say, have I settled? And the answer could be maybe. So I'm going to start to reinvest. What can you do? Number 1, you can get a consistent and concrete connection. This is not spontaneous. This is not mysterious. This is like clockwork, like, you can predict it, you can see it. For us, I mean, it's scheduled. So we can share our secret, which is not a secret at all. Our version of it called the 10 and 10. So we take a walk. It's normally 6 o'clock every night. First 10 minutes, I talk. Second 10 minutes, you talk. This has become 1 hour almost because it's so freaking fun. But we started with 10 and 10 because it wasn't normal for me to be able to stop at 6.
Yeah.
And then to walk and then be silent while you talk, practice. But it's our favorite thing. And we've given that to every couple personally that we know. So now we're sharing with everybody we know. Give that a shot for a week. Let me know how it goes. And immediately, if you're like, how am I going to schedule that? This is definitely for you.
Yep.
So if this is as vital as we say it is, it's one small act of investment that come hell or high water, my wife and I, we're going to walk every night. And if it's not every night, we get all that. I'm just saying the concept is have the spontaneous, but the spontaneous is better if you also have the routine.
Yeah. Maybe you put the kids down and walk around the block once.
Yep, just
They'll
once.
be fine.
They'll be fine.
But do something that's not just sitting, at the dining table, which can work as well. But doing something a little bit different out of the ordinary is super helpful.
And do our second challenge. So the first one is to have a consistent and concrete connection. Something like a walk, something that's scheduled. It's a game changer. And go with number 2, which is your favorite.
Novelty exploration.
Hello.
So find something or pick something that you both have never done before and choose, it could be cheesy, it could be cool, whatever. I don't know. Just pick something that you haven't done. Go play pickleball together. Go take some lessons or go play tennis. I don't know. Do something that you've never done before.
I mean, we do it as simple as because I'm a routine guy. I'm OCD. I eat the same stuff every day. I wear the same things every day. So this is not fun for me. I don't enjoy this. I don't know why. Why would we check out a new restaurant?
Oh,
when
we did
Tina's,
this week.
Shout out to Tina's in Tulsa, has everything I could ever need.
We
so
went.
Why? But okay, in the sake of novelty, let's go down the road to a new restaurant. And it was an epic fail. But the win was that you got to see that I was right.
I don't like going to the same restaurant all the time, even though we love Tina's because it's our people there. They're great.
Yep.
But we tried a new restaurant. I was like, ooh, I want to try this one. It looks so cute. We went. It was your idea as much as you hated it.
It was my idea, and I'm so glad
and I was
it failed.
like, yes. we sat outside.
I actually leaned all the way and I said, you know what? Let's try somewhere new. I don't want to go where I always go. You keep looking at this place. Let's go try it out. I knew it was going to suck.
But it was so bad. Your food tasted like
horrible.
A toddler's meal.
I can't stand bugs outside. Can't stand it.
There was no flavor. It was so bad, and it was pasta that you hate pasta.
I hated the whole thing.
There was nothing else on the menu.
Smiling.
Oh, it was so good. I enjoyed myself. I made you wait a little longer.
But we're still talking about it.
Right.
I can't remember something that happened at Tina's that we go to every night because that's our routine.
Right.
So it's case in point. So before you decide your marriage is too small, make sure you're not living small inside of it. That would be our loving endorsement. When you grow, the love grows. Mm-hmm. And when you shrink, love suffocates. We know that to be true. So settling isn't about the other person. It's about whether you're still becoming. I know this is helpful. We love you, whatever stage of relationship you're at. Keep your lights on. Stay awake. Gets better if you want it to get better. Lights on.
Yes.
Till next time.